You get the email, another price hike from your favorite streaming service. And in that split second of irritation, you move your mouse, hover over the cancel subscription button, and think, maybe this is the month I finally do it. But then you don't. You close the tab, accept the new charge, and go right back to watching. It wasn't always this complicated. For years, Netflix operated on a beautifully simple premise. You paid one flat monthly fee, and in exchange got unlimited content with zero advertisements and absolutely no contracts. That straightforward approach removed the friction of signing up. It guaranteed Netflix highly predictable recurring revenue to fund new shows, and it was a model that could be easily copy-pasted across international borders to fuel rapid global expansion. By making it easy to subscribe, Netflix built massive scale. But building a business entirely on a single monthly fee means your customers hold the power. They can leave the second they feel they aren't getting their money's worth. Eventually, the math behind that simple monthly fee stopped working. In mature markets like the US, almost everyone who wanted an account already had one. At the same time, Disney, Amazon, Apple, and Max flooded the space, sparking a bidding war that drove the cost of producing quality content higher than ever. This diagram shows the exact squeeze Netflix found itself in. On one side, the cost of securing content is skyrocketing. On the other, the limit of subscriber growth is dragging the scale down. They needed more cash to survive, but a massive, sudden price hike might push millions of users to finally hit that cancel button. To avoid a mass exodus, the company had to rip up the subscription playbook that made them famous and invent a new way to extract revenue from the users they already had. In a subscription business, raising your price triggers an immediate danger, the moment of reassessment. Suddenly, your customer stops scrolling and actively calculates exactly how many hours they watched your platform last month. Looking at this logic flowchart, you can see the problem with the old model. When you issue a price increase in a single-tier system, you force the user down a single direct path. If they decide the new price is too high, their only option is total exit. But watch what happens when we add an ad-supported tier. The path splits. Before hitting the exit, a horizontal bridge catches them, offering a cheaper downgrade option. Providing this softer landing works on two levels. It intercepts the cancellation, keeping the viewer locked inside the Netflix ecosystem. And simultaneously, it opens up a lucrative secondary revenue stream by selling their attention to advertisers. Even if the monthly subscription fee goes down, that user still generates consistent cash. A downgraded customer is still a customer. The ad tier was a defensive move. But to drive real growth, Netflix activated its boldest and most controversial lever, the global password sharing crackdown. For years, sharing login credentials was treated as a cultural perk of the platform, but internally, millions of active non-paying viewers represented severe monetization leakage across their most saturated markets. Targeting these users risked extreme backlash, but these users were already watching. They knew the interface. The product appeal wasn't the issue. They represented a massive captive audience of hidden demand. This network graph illustrates the solution. By introducing an extra member fee, Netflix targeted these faded ghost nodes, users viewing outside the primary household. Instead of forcing them to buy a completely new, full-priced account, they offered a fractional fee to legitimize their access. This crackdown functioned as a high-stakes behavioral stress test, forcing millions of free riders to decide exactly how much they depended on the service. Between the ad tiers and the extra member fees, the era of the one-size-fits-all monthly charge is gone. Today, subscribing is a matrix of calculated trade-offs. You have to choose. Do you want ads or no ads? Are you okay with 1080p resolution or do you need 4K? Are you watching alone or do you need to add an extra member across town? We can see how this works on a price segmentation matrix. On the y-axis, we have price sensitivity, and on the x-axis, we have usage. By forcing users to navigate these variables, Netflix categorizes its audience. A heavy user will pay a premium for 4K and extra members, while a price-sensitive student will tolerate ads to keep the cost low. Instead of guessing one perfect number, they engineered a structure where every demographic voluntarily reveals exactly how much they are willing to pay, giving everyone a reason to stay. Netflix has evolved from a simple streaming library into a complex, multi-layered revenue architecture. But manipulating these levers carries risk.
If the base price creeps too high, or if the content catalog suffers a dry spell, the psychological safety net holding those viewers in place will snap. And in a market this crowded, deep-pocketed competitors like Amazon and Disney are constantly waiting to capture any viewer who decides they've had enough. When a company operates under this kind of economic uncertainty, a permanent, perfect price does not exist. There is only a cycle of constant testing, observation, and recalibration. In the modern streaming economy, the product is the month-to-month belief that whatever the price, the service remains worth